that our profile is this. And when I say accepted the fact, we may not like it, but we're not requiring anyone to do anything different.
Yes.
And you have to require people to do things different. When we talked about earlier the amount of money that we don't see being invested into programs, before you can invest money into your programming to see what you're going to get off your return, I think you have to have a genuine conscience for what's going on in that community.
Yeah,
you have to want to be about change. You have to be the change to make the difference.
Yeah, but you know what? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, but Sheldon, what you were saying, okay, it's a lot of people that they like to sit back. Well, this doesn't apply to us. That having that type of mindset and that syndrome, it doesn't constitute productivity as far as what is merited in our neighborhoods. You see, all these neighborhoods all are labeled. So it's like basically people forget about you, you know, but we can't forget about where we came from and whose we came from, you see, which is a power higher than all of us that can possibly conceive what's going on. And this generation right now today, and I interact not just here in Chicago, but in these outskirts, these suburbs and stuff like that with youth that's going through. And what I do get from a lot of these young people, male, female, it's all the same. They looking for a way out. They looking for not just talk. They need somebody to show them,
right?
You see, because that's what they look to me for.
Exactly. And young people have a spirit of discernment, I'll call it, to know when someone is genuinely passionate about them.
They do. Right.
And young people can tell if you're just there temporarily to do a job or if you're there for the long term to rescue them and bring them out of a situation that they can't control nor contain themselves in. They have to be taught better in order to be expected to do better.
Well, another thing we got to do is also, and baby, I'm gonna let you jump in there because I know you're trying to jump in, but this ain't a man's world, but we're just talking about things. I'm a little bit upset about the fact that we spent $95.5 million in the city of Chicago, and no politician, no alderman, no state representative is trying to make sure that money is spent in the communities so that can help people find jobs, get education, and to better themselves. Because you could spend all that money is spent on policemen, looking around or investigating and stuff like that, or, checking people and stuff like that. And statistics I have from different locations, African Americans are getting stopped or shot or hurt more than anyone. But the fact of the matter is that you've got to offer an alternative. You can't just say, I'm going to stick police out there. I need a work action program that's going to help me as well. I need to know that there's going to be a job. What happened to these white collar and blue collar jobs? Bring some factories back. Bring something that we can do some work at as well.
Exactly, Reverend Rick. You bring up a great point, my brother. We need to bring and reinstate more businesses in our communities, because one of the things that I notice that happens in our communities that I think is a disservice is when buildings are burned down or when businesses are no longer, then we don't reestablish anything.
No.
That just becomes vacant space. Well, vacant space is just like an idle mind. It's a playground for the devil.
Like
and so it brings about unsavory activity and misfortune. And so we don't rebuild our community to invest in our community. Economic wealth has to go back into our community. I was very pleased to know that they opened a Walmart on 47th and Cottage Grove. That brought jobs into that community.
111.
I was glad to know that they're opening a Mariano's in the next couple of years on 39th and Cottage Grove. 39th and King Drive, where there was once the Chicago Housing Project.
Right.
And so that will bring about jobs to the community. And that brings about another opportunities for our young people. It gives them a look forward to it. It gives them an opportunity to feel like they will be given a chance and a way out. And there are a lot of other opportunities that I, will be given the opportunity to speak about as our show goes on. But I just wanted to say what the whole purpose of bringing bigger and better business into the city of Chicago, predominantly South Side neighborhoods and maybe some West Side neighborhoods, where there are people with economic challenges.
Okay, baby, jump in, girl. Come on.
About to.
Come on, girl, jump in.
Well, I need some women, Tracy.
This is testosterone here today. I got my brothers here today.
Baby, can I jump in?
You had an opportunity.
I see it went by quick.
Team Vortex is in the house. Team Vortex.
Team Infinity. I know where you're going with that. Team Infinity in the house. You don't know what it is, but I'm going to school you on it later.
Yeah.
My question to the men Vortex in the house is, how do you both, Shelton first, take action in trying to stop youth violence?
Well, one of the things that I do, Brenda, is I introduce young people to restorative justice peace circles. The purpose of forming peace circles affords young people an opportunity to dialogue and develop ideal ways to settle conflict resolution within the reality of their actual experiences. And so peace circles allows young people to come and speak freely and openly without judgment or critique.
Is it an age?
It's no age group. It's generally high school students predominantly. I think that for the most part, high school students, you see them functioning independent in society. They go to school on their own. When they come home on their own. Sometimes there's no parent in the house when they get home from school. So they have a lot of responsibility. And so with a lot of the responsibility and some of the challenges that our young people face, we allow them to come together collaboratively and talk about the conflict. What's going on? Why is this taking place?
Is this an after-school program?
It can happen during school. It can happen during study periods where there's downtime and the students have an opportunity to talk for a few minutes. They can spend, so many minutes studying and so many minutes developing strategies within peace circles. It can happen in your church. It can happen at community recreational centers on weekends. It can happen in structured, organized programming. So
this is a citywide thing. It's not just one high school.
Exactly. No, it's not one. It's not limited to one high school. It is open. It is citywide, and anyone has the opportunity to take advantage of it. And so that's what I introduce young people to.
So, Andre, talk to me about that. What can you say about that?
Well, I mean, I agree with. Shelton. I agree with Sheldon. I deal with a lot of people individually. I'm all over. I'm basically downtown all the time. So what I do, I give a chance. I mentor a lot of people, and I give them a chance to see how I change the equation around because, I was a product of that element as well. Mm-hmm. And it was a brother like me that actually destroyed a lot of people's hopes, dreams, and aspirations with this fictitious living. And you see these same elements and these same things are steady going on because we want things quick, fast. We want things quick, fast, in a hurry. Mm-hmm. So what I lead by example. I show them by my actions. It's not about yesterday. It's about what I'm doing today. A lot of people want to stigmatize you as far as the person you used to be. So a lot of people look up to me because they see the change. They haven't seen me turn the other way, so they come to me more so. And it's a lot of people that come to me for advice on how to do this or how to open a door to get to the next place. And basically I say it's not what you know, it's who you know that'll open doors. And what I do, I open a lot of doors for people to step in.
So you became a mentor.
Yeah, that's what I mainly mentor a lot of young people.
So now you say, where you came from. Tell people just a little bit of where you came from and where you are now.
Well, where I came from, I'm originally from Jeffrey Manor. I'm a product of the streets. I was a drug dealer. I ended up doing a lot of time, and actually it was that period during the time that I sat down, 12 and a half years, that I gave my life up, that I said, I didn't want this. I didn't want it no more. Mm-hmm. So it came to a point in my life where I said, it has to be something better. And mind you, I haven't had everything. I'm talking about from the Benzes, the cars, the furs, the money, the jewelry, the women. I had all that, and I walked away from everything because I said, it's more than that. I sat down for 3 years, and I read the Bible 16 times.
Mm-hmm. Now you hear that now. The Bible,
wow,
The Bible.
I read the
Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
I read the Bible 16 times. That not just the Bible. I studied Hinduism, Judaism, North American, Hebrew life, Buddhism, a lot of different faiths.
World religions.
None of them meant nothing to me, though, but God came down and touched the angel. And he did something with me, and I know what I did when I was doing wrong in the streets, it wasn't the right things, but I realized that God was with me even when I didn't know him, because guess what? I'm still here today.
Amen.
See,
Amen,
so the same
brother.
thing that I did then, I put the same amount of emphasis on doing the right things. You see, and it's about showing. He said, go tell them what I done for you. So that's what I do. And not just tell them, I show them. Because there's nothing that you can get me to retract back to the way I used to even think. You know, so my thing is to be able to uplift these young people, to let them know that it is a chance. Just because you come out the project or you come out the ghetto don't mean that we got to stay ghettofied all the rest of our lives. You got some people that be that way and 40, 50, 60 years old, they're still stuck in the same mindset. It's time for us to grow up, do something different, become men so that our young men can learn to grow up to be men, to be responsible and take care of their children. And that's what we need to do today.
Well, brother, that's an appreciated testimony as a deacon. I appreciate you sharing your story. Every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. God bless you, my brother.
Amen.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm sorry, Brian.
No, go ahead.
I have quite a few questions, but I'm only going to ask the last few because we keep getting away from some of the questions. But one of the last two questions were, do we believe the fear campaign against our own people and refuse to rebuild in our own community? And the second question is, do you teach young people how to write grants to fund their own businesses?
Now, that's good. So now the question we're going to ask in the few minutes we got left before we go to our station break, do you fund, I don't know if anybody here funds someone for grants so they can do their own business. You don't do that as Shelton, do you?
I don't do that per se. I have some fraternity brothers as a man of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Let me just put that out there. Yes, sir. Go my brothers. Yes, I have some fraternity brothers that are skilled in that area of expertise. And so we have some sidebar programming that we have the ability to implement. Grant writing is not one of our program initiatives, but based on the level of talent and expertise that we are surrounded in, the professionalism that comes with the talent of the brothers, we have the ability to do things like that.
So, Andre, you got anything like that or what?
No, what I do, I network. And what I'm good is networking, and I'm around a lot of people that can make some things happen in the ideas that I'm throwing up. And I got a lot of things on the plate for 2015, that will interact and open up some more doors for people to step in as far as jobs, training, and stuff like that. And as far as dealing with what was I doing? The writing part.
Oh, yeah, the grant writing, yeah. One of the things I will say is that all of us have someone that we can work with. And, with our Facebook family and the people that we know, if that's something that you're interested in that, you can contact us on our Facebook page, or you can also go to the Let's Stay Together talk show at gmail.com, and we can get it from there. Baby, you got something to say in a few seconds? Since we letting you on the show?
Yeah, y'all. I'm going to be on the second half. I'm giving y'all this first half.
Okay. Because, there's so many things I could have been arguing about because, I'm disappointed in the fact that we're talking about, communities and things of that nature, but yet we don't realize is that you can't build a community by trying to force someone to stop doing something. You got to give them an alternative, a positive alternative to move away from something. You're a great example of that, of a person who found Christ. And my biggest problem is we didn't took Christ out of everything. It ain't, the only place it is in the church. You ain't got it in the school anymore.
That's right.
You can't bring it in your companies anymore. They don't want it in the buildings. It ain't in the mall. And we're wondering what the heck is going with this world, because we got so many different people here that don't believe in Jesus Christ anymore, that the world is so afraid to talk about Jesus Christ. It is a shame that we don't want to let people know that God is the answer for all of our problems, but we want to make it seem like all we have to do is be kind of liberal and happy and just let everything happen and be peace. But that's not going to work, because this is God's world. This is God's planet. This is what God is. And if you take God out of it, the only thing you're going to have is chaos.
All the time. I talk to all people, atheists, whatever it is. I talk to all of them, and we got to treat these people with love, you see, and just stay positive.
Yeah, and that's true. You got to stay positive on that. Baby, I promise we're going to let you back on the show, because this is the Let's Stay Together show. It ain't became the Reverend Rick McCain show. It's brought to you by and my boys. So, it's good to have some brothers here. Hey, give them that telephone number. Nobody's been calling in. Do that real quick.
312-754-4333.
Hey, we'll be right back after these station identification breaks. You've been listening to the Let's Stay Together show. See you in a few minutes.